It's Wednesday the 21st of September and welcome to From the South. Venezuela is protesting against a Mercosur meeting held in New York by Uruguay and the so-called Triple Alliance, Brazil, Argentina and Paraguay. Venezuela was not invited to the meeting, which was held on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly. Foreign Minister Delcy Rodriguez called the action anti-legal, where Venezuela has been denied the rotating presidency of the South American trade bloc. On September 14th, the Triple Alliance decided to assume the rotating presidency of Mercosur, saying that Venezuela was economically incapable of doing so. Minister Rodriguez said Venezuela is being victimized for ideological reasons.
The pro-tempore presidency of Venezuela in Mercosur is not to be questioned. Now they say they are going to expel us. Them. Expel us. If they throw us out of the door, we'll come back through the window. But no one will take Venezuela out of Mercosur. Venezuela is Mercosur.
At least 13 people were arrested in Chile during a protest against housing prices. The demo began peacefully, with some 100 people marching against a project in development by the Housing and Urban Development Service, known as El Sauzal, Peñalolén. 4 demonstrators suspended themselves from a nearby bridge as a form of protest. Officers forcibly removed them. Demonstrators from local housing committees were protesting against increased charges they say the new project would levy against them. Costa Rica's international airport has resumed limited service after shutting down earlier this week. Authorities temporarily closed the airport after the country's Turrialba volcano erupted on Monday. Local media reported that some 3,000 people were affected by the 4 eruptions, which spewed smoke and ash some 13,000 feet into the air. Workers were called in to clear ash from the airport runway on Tuesday, and flight operations have progressively resumed. Violent clashes erupted Tuesday afternoon and into the evening after police in Charlotte, North Carolina, fatally shot a black man they say was armed with a gun. Witnesses and relatives of the victim, Keith Lamont Scott, disputed this, saying he was holding a book. At least 16 officers were injured during the protest. United Nations workers stood before the UN steps in New York to protest the attack in Syria on an aid convoy that occurred on Monday. According to the protesters, they wanted members of the organization to remember why it was created. Both the United States and Russia have blamed each other for the attack. 3 Hong Kong pro-democracy student leaders walked free after a court ruled against a renewed bid to jail them. The men, along with others, stormed into a fenced-off area in front of government headquarters called Civic Square. The night-long standoff was seen as a key trigger for the umbrella movement. According to officials, flash floods caused landslides in Indonesia's Garut and Sumedang provinces that killed roughly 24 people. A search and rescue team acted quickly, and it was able to save at least 1,000 people and evacuate them to military bases.
The International Committee for Breaking the Siege, along with the Youths for Gaza campaign, organized 2 solidarity actions at Gaza seaport Tuesday to welcome one of 2 women's boats sent by the Freedom Flotilla Coalition, hoping to break a nearly decade-long Israeli blockade. The spokesperson for the International Committee for Breaking the Siege, Adham Abu Salmiya, welcomed the 8 boats and urged peace advocates to send more of them.
The 4th Freedom Flotilla is sailing to Gaza amid exceptional conditions in the Gaza Strip, which has been suffering a tightened Israeli blockade for 10 years now. Gaza has been completely isolated from the world since October 2015 due to the closure of the Rafah crossing and banning aid convoys access to the Gaza Strip, the matter which has worsened the humanitarian situation on the ground.
2 sailing boats, Amal and Zaytuna, with 11 women on board each, left Barcelona, Spain last Wednesday. The Zaytuna Oliva boat arrived Corsica's capital in France Monday morning. Meanwhile, its sister boat, Amal Hope, had to sail back to Barcelona after a sudden breakdown. The organizers of the campaign said on their website that Amal Hope boat will not be in condition to follow Zaytuna, adding they are actively looking for a new ship as a replacement. Zaytuna is carrying food and medicine, and is expected to reach Gaza in early October. The last time the women's boat to Gaza attempted to deliver aid to the territory was in 2015. However, the Israeli Navy boarded and took over its vessel, Mariani, and forced it to sail to the Israeli port of Ashdod. Israel has imposed a strong blockade on the Gaza Strip after Hamas seized power from President Abbas's Fatah forces in deadly clashes in 2007. Nuhar Zain, teleSur TV, Gaza.
Rome's bid to host the 2024 Summer Olympics was dealt a potentially fatal blow after the city mayor refused to give her formal backing. The president of Italy's Olympic Committee said last week that the organisation would abandon its bid to host the Games in the event Virginia Raggi said no. Now Paris, Los Angeles and Budapest are the sole candidates to host the 2024 Games. More on these and other stories on our website telesurtv.net/English.